Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so we're here, the last 10 nights of Ramadan. This is it, an absolutely incredible opportunity. Today, we're going to break down how you can maximize your spiritual rewards during these super powerful nights. So let's just dive right in. I mean, it's a pretty wild question, right? How can you get the reward for over 84 years of worship in just one single night? Well, that's the promise of the last stretch of Ramadan. It holds the legendary Lailatul Qadr, a night that's described as being better than 1,000 months. Think about that. That's more than 84 years of nonstop worship, all packed into just a few hours. The big question, though, is how do we actually capture that immense, almost unbelievable value? So the source we're digging into today makes this really brilliant comparison to the world of business. It says that with our worship, just like with anything else, it's not only about working hard, it's about working smart. Of course, hard work is crucial, but smart work, using an intelligent strategy, that's what gets you the greatest spiritual profit, and it helps you avoid that burnout. Okay, so how do we actually work smart when it comes to worship during these nights? Well, the answer, according to the source material, is all about using these things it calls spiritual shortcuts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shortcut sounds a little bit like cheating or cutting corners, but that's not what this is about at all. Think of it more like having a treasure map that shows you the most direct route. We're talking about simple actions based on real knowledge that unlock rewards that are just way, way bigger than the effort you put in. And here's a perfect example of what we're talking about. The source points to this one specific phrase of praise. Now, it only takes a few seconds to say, but get this, it carries the spiritual weight of praise from every single creature in existence. I mean, talk about an incredible spiritual investment, right? All right, let's get into the practical stuff, the playbook. The source gives us 10 golden ideas. These are simple, super high-impact things you can do every single one of these last 10 nights to really go after that huge reward. Okay, idea number 1, the power of 3. This one's amazing. All you do is recite Surah Al-Ikhlas, that super short chapter about God's oneness, just 3 times. And for that, you get the spiritual reward as if you recited the entire Quran. Now, just imagine doing that on Lailatul Qadar. The reward is multiplied so much, it's like you're getting credit for finishing the Quran every single day for over 84 years. Wow. Next up, idea number 2, the 2-verse shield. This is about reciting the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. These verses are just famously packed with blessings and protection. The Prophet himself said they're enough to protect you through the night. It's a really powerful thing to add to your nightly routine. Idea number 3 is a game changer, especially if you can't stay up all night. It's simple. You pray a 2-unit prayer, and within that prayer, you recite 100 verses. And just for doing that, it's recorded as if you stood in prayer for the entire night. What a strategy! Okay, so we've talked about prayer and recitation. Idea 4 is about charity. The strategy here is to give a little something every single night, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Even something as small as, say, $1, or the equivalent you see here, can have a gigantic impact. And here's where it gets crazy. If that $1 donation happens to fall on Lailatul Qadar, its reward is multiplied as if you gave charity every single day for over 30,000 days. That is over 84 years of daily charity from just one small, simple act. Unbelievable. And, this whole multiplication thing doesn't just apply to money. It applies to our words, too. Take idea number 5. It focuses on a specific phrase that glorifies God. You say it 100 times, and you get the reward of freeing 10 slaves. But if you do that on the night of power, that reward gets multiplied by over 30,000. We're talking about the reward for freeing hundreds of thousands of people. Idea number 6, this one is just mind-blowing. By making a simple prayer for all believers, past and present, something like, "Our Lord, forgive me, my parents, and the believers," you earn a good deed for every single one of them. And if you do that on Laylatul Qadr, well, the potential reward could rocket up to a staggering 60 billion good deeds. All right, so from praying for billions of people, let's go to something beautifully simple. Idea 7. Just say, Subhanallah, glory be to God, 100 times. For that small effort, you get 1,000 good deeds. It's like planting 1,000 little seeds of reward, just waiting to be multiplied like crazy on that special night. Okay, idea number 8 gives us this incredible mental image. The Prophet taught that for saying a specific phrase, Subhanallahil Azim wa bihamdih, You get a palm tree planted for you in paradise. And this is where you really see the power of smart worship in action. If you say that phrase 100 times, that's 100 trees. But if you do it on Lailatul Qadar, that act gets multiplied. You could literally wake up the next morning having planted a spiritual forest of over 3 million palm trees in paradise. Just think about that. Idea number 9 is all about sending blessings, or salawat, on the Prophet Muhammad. And what's so beautiful is that for every one blessing you send, God sends 10 mercies back down on you. We're talking peace, forgiveness, guidance. Now imagine doing that on the night of power. A single prayer could turn into millions of divine mercies coming your way. And finally, we have idea number 10. This is a really powerful, all-in-one kind of prayer. It bundles together praise for God with requests for all the best things in this life and the next. Just reciting it gets you 1,000 good deeds. And on Lailatul Qadar, well, you guessed it, that could be equal to making that same amazing prayer every day for over 84 years. Okay, let's bring this all home. In our final section, we're going to see how all these pieces fit together and really nail down the core message. So this really brings us to the heart of it all. Our biggest spiritual wins don't always come from the things that are the most difficult or physically draining. They come from the smartest actions. It's all about realizing that small, consistent things, when you do them with knowledge and the right intention, can have an absolutely massive, outsized impact. And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. Knowledge is the secret ingredient. It's the catalyst that takes these simple, easy-to-do actions and transforms them into a spiritual fortune that's almost beyond imagination. It's the difference between just grinding away and actually making a smart, eternal investment. So that's a wrap. We've just looked at this incredible portfolio of high-return spiritual investments. Every single one is simple, yet so profound. Really, the only question left is, which of these powerful, smart ideas are you going to start with tonight?